going on, guys? It is your boy Sister here, bringing us to a Photoshop tutorial here today. Bringing us a cool little poster slash advertisement design tutorial again. We have a freaking dope one today. I know I have a lot of you guys who enjoy like my photo edits or like my poster design. I know I've been seeing in the comments like, can you do more tutorials like this? And then link something I did like before with like these photo edits and stuff like that. So I know you guys are out there. I know you guys. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm doing it today, and here we go. We have a Steph Curry example that I have here. By the way, really quickly, we're at 49.5K. We're so close to 50K. Like my previous month actually was the entire, like out of the entire month or out of my entire YouTube career, last month where I had like 101K views that entire month, which is the most I've ever had on my channel ever. So I want to say thank you guys so freaking much. It just means a lot to me that I have consistent growth all the way till now. Even now, I have this growth that's very, very, you know, like, I don't know, you guys like literally holding my hand through my graphics career. And like, as long as you're doing that, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna stay around. And like, overall, I just want to say thank you guys so much. Like, you know, no BS, right? I understand I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be like, you know, not like pressured, but more like motivated actually to do design, show you guys these new things. And it pushes me to like, you know, learn new things, do new things, and just overall explore more. And I really, really appreciate that. Like more than just the numbers, it's more of like, you know, it's more motivation. I really, really enjoy that. And please, if you have anything I can do for 50K, please let me know. It's a pretty big ass milestone. I'm really excited for this. I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to the tutorial, right? We have a Steph Curry example here. So pretty much in this tutorial, you're going to be learning how to like do CC work, brightness and contrast, exposure, things like that. Also blending in really nice cool black and whites into color. You can see around his hand area right here, that's like a nice little black and white kind of like going in through his color here along his arm. Then you have more color over here, simple color over here, and then like over here you have a little bit of black and white action going on as well into color, along with like simple little projection kind of like pen tooled rectangles that make the text, you know, pop out a little bit more. I also have no color around the text, so it's black and white below the text. That way it's easier to read, easier to see, whatever. No, like, you know, you want to make sure the text is basically seen at all points through the color, whatever. No color really going on the right side, black and white, like I said. A lot of color, really cool little, I'm gonna show you guys how to do this really nice light scheme that's going on here. There's no really crazy focus light on the top here. There probably is like a little bit of like a white brush in the hit, but like maybe like 15% opacity going on over here. But most of the light, most of this light source comes from like the bottom left right here, where you can see like a very nice little yellow and red mixture going on right here. And I'm sure you gotta get that effect. It's a very simple, dope effect. As long as everything else, you can see that his person is selective out, cut out. I'm pretty sure you guys want to know what the original looked like. So here was the original picture. I was fortunate enough to actually find a picture of Steph Curry already cut out, and there's basically a blur around everything else. That's what you probably want to go for. You want to have anything really going on, and like an advertisement design or poster design or something like that. You probably don't even want to have any people in it. But for tutorial purposes, I really didn't, you know, really want to go throughout designing an entire background for it. But basically using like a nice photo filter and editing the photo itself. But you can see here, like you can see, you really can't distinguish anybody's face, but you can automatically distinguish who this is. This is clear. This is cut out perfect. This is, you know, basically everything else is like really sharp around him, but very blurred around everything else, right? If we want to do it really quickly, let's just say like my person was not cut out already. I already have a cutout already here as well. But let's just say if you were not cut out, as in your person or your product, this is gonna have to do it. So you guys use pen tool, right? Using your pen tool, we're gonna click around. If you don't have any clue how to use the pen tool is the shortcut P on your keyboard. Pretty much you see it right here, a little light bulb looking thing, right? And so pretty much, or is it a pen? Really, what is that though? What is it supposed to be? Is it like the? I see. It's like the pen within like a line and a dot. My bad. I don't know what I've been looking at my entire life, but pretty much you can see here. If I click and drag, right, you get these two extended points. So with these extended points, you can hold control as always, and you can select these extended points, move them as well as you want them, really nice and precisely, right? And you have this other extended point up here, which basically what the word I'm looking for? It kind of like gives a direction of how you want your curve to be the next time you click. So if I click again, and I extend this point over here as well, you have a direction of curve where you have like, you know, if I put this inward a little more, you can see that the line, or let me back up a little bit. The line goes a little bit more, you know, slantly curved. If you go up here, then like it's really, really curvy because these two lines are now interacting with each other. These 2 points of, you know, like I guess orientation or what I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. But let's say if you do not want that, what you can do is like the next point, if I click over here, right, and I select, you see this little curve is still following this extended point. If you want to get rid of an extended point, let's say we're doing something over here, right, you can see there's like a point of action where you have to, you know, if I want to trace this really quickly, and I do not click anything, and I just try to click over here again, you get these the extended points are like, you know, giving like curvy. You can put it in if you want to. It's gonna give you a lot of like problems or whatever. You're trying to like be really precise, but you can see here this is more of a point. So what you gotta do is hold Alt, click on the point itself, and this is where you get like a nice point, and no longer extended point is going to be available. So it's going to make a simple point and allow you to make your own extension and your own curve with like a simple point over here, which you can fix now without, you know, really worrying about another extended point going around here messing you up. So that's just something you guys want to do. But back to the original purpose of this is pretty much, let's say you went around completely, you make sure you trace it really nice and perfect. You know, you take your time with this. Mostly the I see a lot of advertisement design, you know, poster design that people like tweet me because of my other tutorials that I've done. By the way, having go see those, I put them in the description down below just in case you want to go see those as well. But I've seen other people who have had like, you know, pictures done that I've seen, like, you know, of course they tweet at me and say, how does this look or whatever. And I see a lot, their pen tooling is not good. You know, it's not the best. It's not time taken. You want to take your time. If you're doing anything like advertisement wise or, you know, selective focus wise, make sure that the focus, the cutout, the picture does not look sloppy. Make sure it's really, really nice. It's done. Take like 30 minutes on this if you want to. Just make sure you do it right. So anyway, let's get the selective focus, right? You went all the way around. You connected the point over here. That's where you stop it, right? That's how you close the path. You connect it. You want to right click, make selection, and pretty much you can press OK. And then with the selection here, you want to hold M on your keyboard or press M on your keyboard, right? Which is going to bring you the rectangle marquee tool. You can just select that if you want to don't want to use a shortcut. And now what you're going to do is right click on it, select the inverse, and now on that the picture layer that you're on, right? And you want to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And what this will do is basically select everything around that focus that you just selected, but besides the inside, of course, because you selected the inverse. And you can just change this radius to whatever you guys want to, and you can fix that around. I would say like a good blur is like maybe like 3 pixels, nothing crazy, but I already have mine blurred. But let's say if you did not, that is how you basically do it. So Control D now, and pretty much you're now ready to start. So let's just go back to the original edit again, and that way we'll go ahead and start off with the original picture. So pretty much we're going to start off with right now is the brightness and contrast, a little bit of action like that. So right now, go to the little adjustment tab layer, which is your half circle down here, and we're going to brightness and contrast, and pretty much it does as explanatory. Put your contrast up, bring a little more color out, and then for your brightness, I would say either you can put it up or you can bring it a little bit down. I kind of want to bring it down a bit so maybe like -10. See if I can bring out some shades in his face here. You can see these little like, you know, like dark spots in the like, you know, I guess features of the face, make it look a little more better. We're just gonna bring that brightness down a little bit, and our contrast we can go up to is really whatever the heck we want. I'll say like 60, and we'll put it on my brightness on like -12, right? Just to keep like even, simple to follow, right? So pretty much after that, we can put a little bit of vibrance. See if we can get some more color going on here. Like I don't want to change the skin tone to yellow. Not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking to make sure as much color is popping out as possible that I want. We'll start with my vibrance up a bit, 35 or so. I said I don't really want to mess around with my saturation. I'm gonna just put this on like 5. Really nothing crazy. If I put it to 0, what is the difference? It's a pretty, you can see a little distinct difference. I like how it looks. So I don't want to make his skin yellow though. That is making it yellow. We're just gonna put the 2. All right, sweet. You don't have to change the saturation. I think just vibrance is fine. But pretty much after this, we're gonna add one little thing. Is your exposure. Pretty much you can see really quickly if you just take a you know aspect of this, right? You can see that he's obviously in front of the camera. He's focused. He's, you know, focused. He's not, you know, select the focus, of course, and everything around is blurred. But you can still see that this guy right here has a little bit of depth with him as well, depth of field, I'm starting to say. So you can see that there's something behind him, and it's these people, and you can see that there's something behind, you know, him over here, and it's these like benches. There's something behind the benches is a wall. I want to get rid of that. I want to make things flat. I want to make things look, you know, easy to design with. Nothing like, I don't want to put any depth of field in. So we're going to just change our exposure a bit. We're going to put this up. We're going to put our offset up as well, which is going to give us that nice flat look. And our gradient, our gamma correction was going to make everything back to getting dark, but still holding the flatness look. And we're just going to go ahead and say, I believe, these are all your highlights and stuff in your exposure. How much light is getting let in. So how much light is getting let in is how much light you're gonna actually put on the shadows and, like, you know, things like that. So pretty much I don't want to put not too much light in, but I can put a little bit. Why not? I don't want the crazy gray tones from below this, just a little bit more as well. Alright, there we go. I think I like how that looks, right? So you can see if I uncheck this and check this again, you can see there's no more like depth of field. It's all flat and ready design-wise. That's why I would say make sure you have your person you're doing, your product you're doing, selected out, selected focused out. So that's why I want to make sure I show you guys in the beginning, because if you did it, it just kind of looked like everyone's like right in front of you. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something like this, right? Pretty much you're good to go now with some color. I kind of want to lower my opacity down a little bit on this, like to 65 or so. All right, yeah, I'm doing that because I still get rid of the depth of field. So we're gonna make a new layer above everything, And this is where we're gonna start doing the point of making like a nice cool little light, you know, effect over here. So to do this, we're gonna be using red and white, red and yellow, right? So this is the yellow on his jersey, and this is the red is on his jersey. You can you just click on this on the little eyedropper right here. Once you open up your color picker right here, you can just basically select over here. So I'm gonna use yellow for now. We're gonna use the yellow first, and we're gonna pretty much with our brush here. You can see my brush settings really quickly. Basically like a nice size and 0 hardness, by the way, which is gonna give you a nice little soft brush. And if you want to make your brush bigger without actually opening this up, which you also just right click on, right? But you can hold Control Alt and right click and move it left and right if you want to make your diameter bigger or smaller. Just a little thing you want to know how to do. And we're gonna say like a little bit of yellow here, and pretty much I'm only gonna put on a side of like a nice little L shape, right? On the left side, bottom left side, we're gonna make a little L of a little bit of light. So I'm gonna use this red. You can use 2 different layers for the color. I would probably say it would be easier, but I'm not really looking for like, you know, anything crazy right now. I'm just gonna because on the second part we're gonna actually do 2 different layers of 2 different colors, right? But for now we're doing something like this. What this is what it looks like a normal, right? You want to change your blend mode to color dodge. What this will allow you to do, or what this is allowing you to like see, of course, right now, is you can see that the colors are blending into the picture, and it's kind of like, you know, of course, you get these little distortions around here. What this really means is like there's too much of like a dark, vibrant color on top of another vibrant color. So if I put this yellow over here, you'll see that there's no longer like a distortion. On his pants, you can see there's a bit of distortion. I'm gonna click on it, and you can see that it kind of gets rid of it. You can see like the little noise right here. Like I'm trying to fix that, right? And I'm putting the yellow on. That's what I'm doing. And over here, there's a distortion. I'm gonna fix that. A little bit of distortion over here, right there. We can't fix it all, but of course, in like the post, when we do more color correction stuff with like brightness and contrast, we can fix that. But for now, that's how I'm gonna fix it for now. But we have this effect here. It looks pretty cool, but we don't have like that nice glow looking effect. That's kind of what I'm really looking for. And I have a crap ton of yellow on this. I just noticed, or red on this. I kind of want more yellow than red. So I'm gonna go ahead and like, I kind of want more yellow. I'm gonna go at this again. A bit more yellow, and then we'll put a little bit of red on the tops and bottom. I think that'll look a little bit better. All right, got this going on. There we go. All right, so we're on color dodge still. I can kind of erase this a little bit, just a little bit, right? So on a new layer, we're gonna make another layer. We're gonna put some more color on it. So we're gonna use yellow again, the yellow on this jersey, and we're gonna go ahead and click over here, down here, up here, and then we'll use a little bit of red. But on a new layer, and we'll change both of these layers in a second, to a different blend mode. And put this little red over here, a little bit of red up there, a little bit of red there. So on these 2 layers, you can press Control on them to select them both if you want to change them both at the same time. But this layer is going to be changed to Linear Dodge Add. And this will give you that cool little glow effect that you kind of got seeing on my the original edit right here, right? They're like, you know, look at that, freaking beautiful, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just erase, oops, I'm going to use the eraser really quickly. We're going to erase a bit of this yellow. I'm going to put a little bit more red. So I'm going to take this on my red layer, on my Linear Dodge Add layer, take a little bit of red, move it up here a little bit, and I'll go back to my yellow really quickly. We'll select this yellow again. And we're going to get rid of a little bit of something here. We're going to get rid of it with this. And I'm trying to make this look as good as possible, right? There's a lot of red. Focus on his pants here. I kind of want to erase just a little bit. You can see what's going on here. It's looking really nice. I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't look, you know, too clustered with a lot of color, of like nothingness. I'm not really trying to look for like a lens flare of color or like a color photo filter of like a lens flare. That's kind of what's looking at like right now. But you can see this looks like more, I'll just use this one right here for the showing example. You see this looks more like a nice little soft color, nothing crazy going on. And we can just lower opacity down if we really want to. If this is yellow maybe, and maybe like this one down here. There we go. Now you have a little bit more controlled light, right? You have a nice controlled light over there, and now we're looking really good. Also, what I'm going to do as well, I'll make another new layer, and on my foreground color, I'm going to change it to white. And I'm going to go ahead and just make sure we get a little bit of white going on here. Maybe like this side here. And keep it on normal, and just lower the opacity down just a bit. There we go. All right, now we have a nice little light going on the bottom. Looks really nice. A little bit of color going on the left side as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm show you how to do that little black and white. So, of course, on my example here, I have black and white going on so that I can put my text over that black and white. I don't really think you should put colored text over another colored part. Or if you're going to do that, maybe blur out the color a little bit so that the text needs to be visible. So the most important thing you're doing, it's an advertisement design, it's a poster design. You want to have that person's name stick out as much as possible without, like, you know, ruining the design overall. So put that black and white in. I just do it a different way. I don't know, I just like doing it this way. I can use a white color, right? Simple white, you know, primary white on your foreground color. You're gonna change your blend mode to hue, and what this is gonna do is, of course, make everything black and white that you paint over. So on this white here, you can see this here, it's turning everything black and white. I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure I just get the right side black and white for now. I don't really care if I color over him, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I do this, right? I have my cutout. I make sure you guys, I told you guys in the beginning, because that's probably the most important thing. Press Control on your cutout, or press Hold Control on your keyboard. Click on the thumbnail of your cutout, which is right here, and I can pretty much just now click on the layer that is this light stuff, or the black and white. Pretty much, if I press delete on my keyboard, it'll get rid of that part that I did, and I can go back into it with my brush, with a smaller brush, and get that cool look of that, like, kind of like black and white going into his hand here, and that's what we're gonna go for. So we're gonna put a little bit into his hand there, maybe a little bit on his arm, and then just a bit on his finger over here. I don't really want to do anything on his head, really. Shrink the size a bit. Do a little bit over here. There we go. I think I like how that looks. I don't really want to do too far down. Alright, I like how that looks. There we go. Sweet. So pretty much what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a simple, I'm going to see what happens if I put a gradient map on. And we're going to put a black to white gradient map, just like so. And does this need to be a little darker? No, we're good. Alright, black and white is fine. I'm going to put it on soft light really quickly. Or overlay. No, is everything fine? I hope it looks okay. I was going to see what it looks like. I don't know, violet doesn't look too bad. I'm trying to see if I can just bring out some color. I don't know. I don't really know. We're going to just leave it like that. Oh, there's a little bit of color on his, or black and white on his neck here. Alright, sweet. So, pretty much like I said, I want to put a little black and white over here. That way for my text, I can start doing the text really quickly. But I want you guys to do the particles around his fingers, right? Or around his entire body. It's a very cool little trick that I have here. It's just really simple that I do when I want to do something like this. So, pretty much, I'm going to take my cutout. I'm going to make a duplicate of, actually, before I do that, Control D to deselect. Make a duplicate of my picture. Rasterize the picture really quickly. Hold Control my cutout. Click on the thumbnail, right? I'm going to cut this out right here on this duplicate that I made of the picture. Right click with the rectangle marquee tool and just pretty much press layer via cut. Doesn't really matter what you do. And we'll just leave this as, I'm going to call it Steph just in case I need to do this again. I'll make a duplicate of it, right? We'll just, this is going to be where I'll play a little layer right here. We're going to click on this layer, select this layer, go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur, and we're just going to, alright, so change the angle to 0, and we're going to change our pixels to 100. Perfect right here, because what I'm looking for, excuse me, is, pretty much want to have like a cool little controlled, what am I trying to say, like controlled like flare going on. What we're going to do in a second is going to change this blend mode. We'll do it right now, why not? Or before we do that, click on our cutout, make sure there's nothing on the personal layer itself, right? We still have that little layer. This is an effect in itself, kind of like a little blur, motion blur going on. You can kind of see his face blurred out right here if you guys wanted to know that his face blurred out. But what I'm going to do is change this blend mode from normal to dissolve. I'm going to lower my opacity. The lower you go your opacity, the more dissolve gets dissolved. So I lower my opacity down, right? And I can see it looks pretty badass. I can even keep it on 1, just not too many particles. Even 2 is good as well. So you have all the little particles here. Looks pretty dope, right? What you can do with these particles, you can double click on this layer, and we can put either a drop shadow, which is going to put black, what would you call them, like particles as well, if you want to. You can change the distance of them really much. I don't really want to change that. Well, there we go. That's fine. So pretty much you get black particles as well if you put like the drop shadow on. You can also get different colors, particles as well. You can put like yellow particles by changing the color overlay. Which I think I like how that looks. But I think if I take this layer and I make this white, and if I click over here, it does change them to black and white. So if you were wondering why some of them are white, some of them are yellow, it's because that we, when we went over the color with this little layer right here with our hue and our white little hue, it's going to change some of these to white and leave the other ones as yellow. So it looks pretty good when I put like the combination together. And what you can do is if you wanted to erase particles, let's say you have too many particles clustered over here, if you try to erase them, it wouldn't look correct. It's going to actually make more. So what you're going to have to do to get rid of that effect, or to actually edit the effect, or edit with the effect on it, you have to make a new layer and kind of like trick Photoshop into thinking there's no more dissolve like filter on it or dissolve layer style on it. Make a new layer that's normal, Control E to merge them together, and now you can just click your eraser, and now you can like kind of trick into Photoshop and saying like there's no more dissolve filter on this or dissolve blend mode on this, and you can erase things now. And this is how I want to have it. There we go. And actually really quickly as well, I'm going to make a duplicate of this and put a nice filter of sharpen on this. There we go. Steph Curry there. There we go. It looks better now. All right, sweet, looking good. We can do the little stroke thing around this as well. To do that, if I hold control of my keyboard, click on the thumbnail of this, a little cutout here. If I go to select, modify, expand, and I expand it by about 6 pixels or so. Of course, this is doing expanding the selection, which we have our cutout selected, and we're going to expand it by 6 pixels. If I press OK, you can see now it's perfectly expanded by 6 pixels around his entire body. And what I can do here is I can make a new layer, press M on my keyboard, which is going to bring the rectangle marquee tool again. Right click, stroke, and change it to 2 points, which is pretty good. Color, you can change whatever you want to change the color to, but I'm gonna leave it white. Press OK, and you see that there's a perfect stroke around him. Looks pretty freaking dope. We can go over here really quickly and make sure we cut this. We don't want anything going around his legs. There we go, right? I did mess up a little bit there. It's whatever. There we go, right? So I'm gonna change this to overlay. Now what you can do is either if you have like a brightness and if you have any like patterns and stuff, you can put like, if you have like black patterns, like my pattern pack, if you guys don't have it, it's whatever. You can use this as like a little cheat to do what I'm gonna do right now in a second. But you can do that if you want to put some patterns in this to make it look cool. But what you can do is take the rectangle marquee tool, and we just go around and kind of delete some spots and kind of want to have like crazy lines going through. We're gonna have like that dotted line kind of feel, right? Something like this, something right over here. Oh, you want anything around his hands? Something like that. I don't really want to have anything here, nothing here. Alright, there we go. I think I like how that looks. Sweet. So, I just deleted some random things with like a random selection of a rectangle, or you can use a circle, whatever you want to use. Doesn't really matter. I just want to kind of have like a scattered line kind of thing going on here. So I like how that looks. What I can do now is if you can put like black on it if you want to. Make a new layer, clipping mask that new layer on that little stroke thing here. If I use these rectangles again, if I change one of these to black, and I believe Alt Backspace is your foreground color selection, you can see here, you can put a little bit of black on the selections as well, and you can change the blend mode if you want to as well. Let's just see what it looks like. Right, we have a little black going on here on the insides, right? We'll see what it looks like on overlay. Or like something different. Divide, maybe? No, it really doesn't do much. We can put it on like normal, keep it on normal, but put a little black stuff, little black like lines going around. It's just all whatever the heck your preference. It's whatever, right? Also, I'm gonna see what happens if I put a focus light on the top really quickly, but not too bright of a focus light. Something like this, and just lower the opacity a bit. And maybe like a brightness and contrast above that. See what we got going on here. I'll lower that down as well. I like it. It doesn't look bad. Sweet. So, pretty much for the text, to get this like cool little texting I have over here, which is like a kind of like a bolded out like the curry in it. So pretty much what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna type in Steph, all capitals by the way. I had it right the first time. Steph, and then actually this is bolded, right? We're gonna make sure this is not bold. This is not italic either. Regular, and then curry we're gonna make bold, just because we kind of want to have diversity in the fonts. Just gonna make it bold though. There we go. Right. So to do this little cool little trick over here, right, is we're gonna basically make a new layer above this text. We're gonna click on our M marquee tool. Make sure there's no feather on, by the way. It's gonna ruin it, by the way. If you just click around, and we're just gonna go around this, kind of like guess where the spacing between this is. If you have white already selected, it's fine. You can change the color if you don't have it, but you change the vertical color to white. Alt Backspace to quick fill it in. Hold Control, click on the word curry, right, which is below this box here, and I can click on the box, click delete on my keyboard, and now I can just basically select this box right here, which is gonna hide the word curry, and now we have the word curry all bolded out, looking pretty dope. And we can change the color of this by just double clicking on it. Color overlay, make it that color. We can just go with that, right? Steph is fine, curry is fine. Move that there. And then maybe, just maybe, why not just do this thing really quickly? I can just type in 30, make this small. Let me do the same thing as before, put the box above this, like so. Fill that in. Control click, delete my keyboard, hide it, change the color to red. And press OK. Maybe we'll make it red of this tone. There we go. Press OK. There we go. Now you have Steph Curry and 30 here. And now we can do with this is we can put like a cool little kind of like a projection thing. I did this by using the pen tool. And we're going to take his finger, right? Like a nice focal point of his finger. Click here. We can click like here. And then maybe we can click like, maybe like here. Nah, we'll click here to here and then like down here. And select it. Make sure that you're selecting the point. You're not going like around like this. Make sure you're not doing this. You want to make sure it has like that focal point that it goes from thin to like a nice wide area. And we're going to do the same thing for this right here. I'm just going to click on both of these angles. Once, click over here and then select it. Click over there. Actually, we're going to drag this down so these don't interrupt each other. It will look kind of odd when I do that though. So I'm going to move this one up then. It's like there. That won't look bad. All right, press OK, or not press OK. Right click, fill path, press white, then press OK. Right click, delete the path, and then so that you see that this layer is going through this S, we're gonna get rid of that. So we're gonna press Control click on this little thumbnail of this little T right here. Is gonna select the Steph text. Select modify expand by like 2 pixels or so. Press OK, and now on this layer right here, which is our these little shape layers, rectangle layers, press delete. Now we have a nice little simple cutout of that. And now pretty much we can go put this on overlay or soft light, really doesn't matter. Now you have a cool little thing going on here. There we go. All right, sweet. I really like how this is coming out. We're pretty much done. I really think we're done. Anything you do after this point, by the way, is all up to you, really. I showed you guys a really nice foundation of making particles, CC correction, a little bit of design detail, and like how to make your text pop out as much as you want. Also, selective focusing is a really big idea. Also, this cool lighting effect if you don't want like any focus light really going on here. And overall, the outcome is really, really nice if you take your time on it. I really enjoyed this tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Do not forget, guys, 200 likes on the video equals a secret down below. Of course, I'm probably going to put the PSD of this video for the secret download. So if you're looking, and it's going to be this PSD as well. The one I really took a little more time on, stuff like that. You can see how I did it perfectly. All the things are named, all perfect. And I can't wait for 50K, guys. I really can't wait. Please leave me something to do for 50K. I do not know if I'm going to do like a day in a life though, just because like I have no friends that are out of college, or not out of college, that are like in college that are around. They're all like deep. Sucks, but whatever. Anyway, thank you guys so much for the support on my videos. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, @SysWitchQ. Don't forget to check out my Sellfy, sellfy.com/SysWitchQ for any premiums and packs as low as $5. I will talk to you guys later. Have a freaking great Friday, a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys on the next Friday. Talk to you guys later. SysWitchQ out. Peace.